our soap writers are very adept at adapting to the situations. You see Tarak Mehta, a character like Daya is not there for the longest time, but the show survived. Aamir Khan also I worked with, but Aamir Khan is not somebody who does a lot of work. He's such a rare yeah. So Aamir Khan, I think the last I worked was when they did the Lagan tour. I think back in 2001. Salman is Salman. I call him Salman. We are like family because we do a lot of work together. We big boss. Saal mein we end up spending at least 6 to 7 months working together.
Hope you're all well. My guest today is a writer, a director, a lyricist, and a live show host who's done many shows. In fact, some of the latest ones was the tour with the late Rishi Kapoor when he launched his autobiography, Kullam Kulla. So welcome to the show. I mean,
Thank you.
You've got a massive CV here. You're a busy man. You're a busy man in the world of entertainment. But first of all, how are you coping with the situation in India at the moment, in Mumbai, with the pandemic?
With the pandemic, on a personal level, actually, all we need to do is stay put, stay home, stay safe, like they say. So that's what we are doing. That's the bare minimum we can do, and that's what people are doing. And in fact, Mumbai, the cases are dropping very well, and the police and the administration has done a fab job. They are implementing all the rules. You can't go out without a valid reason. So they're stopping cars. They are asking for documents in case you have some medical emergency. But otherwise, after 11 o'clock, you hardly see anybody out. So it's very well implemented. So the cases are dropping. Professional front pay, the shoots have been discontinued. So there's no shooting happening at all. So no movies are being shot right now at all in Mumbai. Right. The television industry has moved. Some of them have gone to Goa, about 5 or 6 units or maybe more. They've one by one, they've all shifted to Goa. So a lot of shoots are happening in Goa, but Goa also there's a rise in cases. So there also there's curfews and lockdowns being implemented. So some units like Anupama, which is the highest watched show today in India, the daily soap, Anupama they've gone to Silvassa. So a lot of people have gone because you need to give people wholesome entertainment, that the show must go on, like they say. So people have gone out of town, and the momentum is still there. It's a little inconvenient, but then our soap writers are very adept at adapting to the situation. So they come up with situations. You see Tarak Mehta, a character like Daya is not there for the longest time, but the show survived. So our writers are very good at bypassing and what we call the Indian Jugaad system that is there. So we do the Jugaad and we move on. We don't stop. So that's what. So shoots are on television that way. Out of Mumbai, shoots are on. Even during last year in August, we launched a series of Fear Factor. So we shot. We went to Film City. SOPs were in place and we shot. Quite a few people also got caught by the virus, but it didn't spread in the unit because we were keeping our distance and all that. But we were having a tough time, but we pulled it off. We pulled off a whole season in August, and after that we started with Big Boss also. Okay. So we did the entire season without any hitch. There were unit members who were getting affected, but the inmates, the housemates never got affected because they were in a bubble. There was a quarantine before they went in and all that. So that protocol was followed.
You had the privilege of hosting with the late legendary Rishi Kapoor, sir.
Rishi ji, yes.
Yeah, how was that experience?
It was a very good experience. So we did one trial show in India, in Mumbai. Really? And then we did one for the family and close friends in Mumbai. And then we went to a few places. We went to Bahrain and we went to Dubai, and we came to London. We came to UK and did 2 shows there. Unfortunately, after that we were slated to go to Georgia and the US, and again we were coming back to the UK, and then also we were to go to Canada. But then he went away, so that did not happen. But it was a great experience.
I never get a chance, or didn't get the chance to get the book. Hopefully one day I collect all the biographies of many artists and um,
Yes, yes,
interesting people. So hopefully I'll
yes,
get a hold of Kullum Kulla.
yes, yes. It's a good book. It's a very interesting book. Yes,
Yeah, I'm a big
yes.
fan of. मैं बहुत बड़ा fan हूँ, especially of the 70s and 80s cinema.
Because I feel what is missing in today's cinema is today's cinema more or less concentrates on slice of life. So a lot of people don't get that escapist fare that they're looking for because रोज ऐसे भी tension में जी रहे हैं. You have your everyday problems. You're going to work. You're having a miserable job, or sometimes many times you want to escape from all that. So our movies earlier on gave us a slice of that escapism rather than having a slice of life which like anyway going through the humdrum every day, and then again you go to the theater, you pay money, and then you see again somebody struggling to make ends meet. So which is why that cinema people are missing. But having said that, a lot of those kind of films when they have a good storyline, good action and everything, if even 60% or 50% of things are in place, those films do well because that's the cinema which is not being made as much as it should, because pan Indian audiences or even our NRI audiences, so called, if you see the many people in UK, in the UK or in the US are more conservative than we back here. Because I've seen firsthand when I visit somebody's house, and I feel a lot of people are more religious also. They go more to places of worship
Okay.
than we do out here. So तो उनको भी वो टाइप का सिनेमा चाहिए जहाँ पे एक आदमी 10 आदमी को मार रहा है. इट्स लाइक यू वांट टू सी योरसेल्फ देयर ऑन स्क्रीन. सो दैट स्टेपल डाइट जो है, जो खुराक बोलते हैं ना, that the Indian audiences are not getting, which is why strangely there are a lot of these Telugu films or Tamil films, action movies which are dubbed, because the true blue action entertainers, starring say Vijay or Rajni sir, or so these do very well because those are the films people relate to in an escapist kind of way. Not that I am there. They just want to see something larger than life. पैसा देके big screen पे they want to see larger than life, not somebody who's एक रोटी सेक रहा है और 15 मिनट उसको देख रहा है, या एक सिगरेट पी रहा है, लंबे बाल दाढ़ी है, सिगरेट पी रहा है for 10 minutes and contemplating about life. वो नहीं चाहिए. So that's why the Ajay Devgans of the world are still doing so well, because they're catering to, they're striking a balance. Akshay Kumar also strikes a balance between slightly realistic cinema and commercial. So वो पकड़ के चलो तो it's okay, otherwise you lose your audience. That protocol was followed. So touchwood, nothing happened.
I wanted to ask you actually about the situation of the the film industry. Obviously, all the productions have stopped. How has that affected the producers? How is that affecting them?
Oh, they are incurring huge losses because some of them have loans in place, and you're paying your interest, and what we say in India, meter down hai. So meter down hai. So you're paying the interest and all that, and people who give loans don't consider that much. The even multiplexes. All the multiplexes in India are mostly in malls. Now malls are shut, so multiplexes aren't operating. But some of the mall owners are asking the multiplex chains to pay their rent. So it's a point of debate, because the multiplex people are saying, okay, we were okay, you even didn't open the gates to your mall, then how do we operate our multiplexes? So those kind of standoffs were happening, and rents were being settled. A lot of properties shut down. So it's a grim situation at the moment. But then over a period of time, I think once they limp back, like there were a few films which released down south. There was a movie called Master. There was in Tamil. There was another movie in Kannada called Pogaru. All these movies got huge openings. The Master got an opening of 40 crores on day one, which is huge, which is like any other day, a non-pandemic. So the Hindi movies that were to release somehow got affected, because Suryavanshi was to release on the 30th. Yeah. So these kind of things, these are setbacks. So the producers are incurring losses, definitely, quite a few crores actually.
What do you think the future is going to be now for the big screen? I mean, moving forward?
Big screen, yeah. So big screen. A lot of people tend to write off the big screen whenever some invasion happens, whether it's a pandemic or whether it's say a new technology that comes in. Like in the late 70s out there, and maybe early 80s back in India, we had the VHS home video invasion. So that time also people said, okay, big screen is over and all that. So people wrote, obituaries and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Like, people who want to go and experience the magic of cinema on big screen will go back to the theaters as soon as everything is in place. And
Yeah,
we've seen that, in places like New Zealand and all, wherever they opened, people have gone. Indians
absolutely.
have gone back to seeing our Indian fare there. So वो होगा. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of confidence for people to go. And mind you, theaters are following very good SOPs. Very good SOPs. We have PVR chain out here, Inox. I saw a few movies like Tenet Beach May when the
You've seen
lockdown
it.
had opened.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So the it was wonderful the way they were handling it. So it is unfortunate that multiplexes have been shut down. But then, okay, it's a matter of people getting confident again to get back there. So it'll bounce back in a big way.
Yeah, yeah,
Those big movies have to come. Shah
yeah.
Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, and
Yeah, we'll come on to those big names. I mean, I wanted to ask you actually because you do a lot of writing for films and television. What's the difference when it comes to writing for you in particular?
films you have 2 to 2.5 hours one go. You have 2 hours in which you got to entertain people, keep them hooked. They have come to the theater. Now you have to make sure that whatever you're showing on screen, they don't go back to their phones, because that's the way I judge how a film is going when I go as an audience. So
Yeah,
I look at the number of screen glows of phones. If in about 10 minutes you see phones glowing, you know that the film has not caught the fancy
the
of
attention.
a viewer, of the viewer. Yeah, yeah. So what you need to do is you have to have very fresh scenes, or even if it's a cliched scene, the presentation has to be new. So so films are that people will come to you, and because they've come paid for the ticket and they've come, they're seated there, they're sitting there, and they will at least wait, and if the film picks up, they are with you. Television, there's a remote. So the moment you don't appeal, they are off. They are off to another channel. They're off to an OTT platform. They're just gone, and but most of the time never to come back. Or they are just coming and going. We call in television there's a term called stickiness. Stickiness is the factor which tells you. So they have these graphs, where it went up, where it dropped. So they actually have all that being measured viewer wise. Those rating meters give you that feedback. तो उसमें पता चलता है कि कौन कितना देख रहा है, कौन सा पोर्शन अच्छा गया, and those like really throw up surprises actually. So television, also one more thing is because television is an ongoing process, every week after
Absolutely.
week you are churning out stuff. So based on the feedback from people, you can adopt a different route, or you can go another way, or you can change the storyline a bit. You can reduce one character, you can increase the character depending on how popular he or she gets. So you have that flexibility. Filmon mein once it's released, it's gone, it's out of your hand. In television you can tailor it. People change hosts at time, people change in reality TV. They change a judge or some other contestant, or they do that. So you can keep tweaking it.
You have a big passion for these TV shows.
Yes.
And जैसे आपने बोला a few minutes ago, you worked with Akshay Kumar, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes, yes, a lot.
You didn't mention Aamir Khan.
Aamir Khan also I worked with, but Aamir Khan is not somebody who does a lot of work. He's such a rare, yeah, yeah. So
Rare breed.
Aamir Khan, I think the last I worked was when they did the Lagan tour. I think back in 2001.
Yeah.
So that is the time I have worked last with him. After that, because he doesn't do live shows, he doesn't do live events much. So most of the time when I end up working with people, if I'm not doing a film with him, I'm at least doing a live event. So Amir doesn't do live events. Then he also doesn't go to promote his films on any show. Or yeah, so usually there are actors जो आते हैं हम अपने show पे, Big Boss पे आते हैं to promote their next release or whatever. So Amir doesn't even believe in that. So he does not. So that's why Amir is one person I worked only 2 or 3 times earlier. But other people, yes, a lot.
आपका favorite कौन है?
Amongst
Favorite.
amongst who amongst अच्छा ये यानी अक्षय
The
ये सब लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं कि तीनों में फेवरेट कौन है. So it's like choosing one figure. So it's like each individual has his own very typical trait or likability factor. तो जैसे अक्षय is a very school boyish kind of charm. And when we are together, we are laughing all the time because we bond over tasteless humor, what you call twisted humor, and so we are cracking jokes all the time. So people, हमारा ऐसा है कि when we are working and then there's a cut, so we go to the side and then both of us are in our own world, laughing and giggling and bursting out. So people ask us also, तुम लोग क्या बात करते रहते हो? So people get very, so no matter how many hours, so we can spend a lot of time laughing all the time. And he's a Punjabi man, like hardcore Punjabi, but he's also equally a Maharashtrian man. Okay. He has a 17-year-old Marathi boy in him. So he loves to speak Marathi and he thinks like a Maharashtrian at times. It's very amazing. So it's great fun. It's great fun bonding with him. Salman is I call him Salman. We are like family because we do a lot of work together. Big boss. Saal mein we end up spending at least 6 to 7 months working together on a weekly basis. So it's more like family. So kabhi bhi, I can go to his house and spend time with him. So with Salman bhai, it's more like it's fun zone. Fun zone. Yeah. And he's very sure and he knows his audience very well. So when you give him something that is too cerebral or too intelligent or something which people have to like really figure out what's happening, he will stop you right there and he'll say no, you need to like just be simple, just be basic, and he's like that. And we have a lot of fun on the set, and the food that comes from his house is amazing. So there's enough food for about 25 to 30 people twice. On that day, so like during Big Boss, we all like kind of put on weight because itna अच्छा खाना आता है. So every Friday to Friday we really eat a lot, and then sometimes on Thursdays also we shoot on Fridays or Saturdays. Right. So that's the day we eat a lot. So Salman bhai is that way. It's great fun to chill with. Very this thing. He likes to do things for people. He helps out people a lot, and very concerned, very caring. Shah Rukh is, I feel, if there's any person who's equivalent to a computer, it's him. His memory is outstanding. It's remarkable. उनको कोई बात आप बोल दो 2014 में, तो he'll bring it up in 2018, and he'll say that to you, and you've forgotten about it. Like we've done a lot of Filmfare awards and all together, So he suddenly will say, Kiran, अपन हम लोग 2015 में वो एक बमन ईरानी के साथ करने वाले थे, उनको स्टेज पे बुला के, and I have forgotten because probably that time while brainstorming during a session I must have said something, but he remembers. And then he'll say, okay, give me 10 minutes. Yeah, he'll say, give me 10 minutes. मुझे याद आएगा तो मैं बोलूँगा. And then 10 minutes later he'll remember. Or if you give a name also, if you meet him and you meet him after 3 years, he'll say, oh, you're Cash Kumar from Sabras, that kind of very, memory of an elephant, bol sakte hain. So yeah. all these three people, Akshay, Salman bhai and Shah Rukh bhai, they are very, very hungry, very great. They have great appetite for work, great passion for work. I think which is why they have lasted all these years. They've outlasted a lot of newcomers, and they're still going strong. And their fan base is very strong. So 2 or 3 flops of 5 failures in a row also will not affect them because the foundation was strong hai unka. And people also, fans also, they know that there are bad times. It's even Virat Kohli can get out on a 0 maybe in the 3 consecutive matches, but it's still Virat Kohli. So it's that. So people are very accommodative that way, if you see.
Okay, what kind of advice would you give to aspiring actors or technicians or even singers?
Yes. So I feel a lot of things are said about nepotism and all that. It's very unfortunate that these things are all media created. Because no producer is a fool to back somebody who's not a good prospect, who's not going to get him the return. I mean, I don't know why people treat films or television like any something which is like very array. It's बहुत अलग है. नहीं, it's after all it's a business. Nobody makes a film thinking that मैं एक flop film बनाऊंगा. Nobody does that. Everybody wants to make a hit film. So I always give an example. So first I'll answer your question that you asked that what do aspiring people do. तो एक है कि you need deep pockets. You need a good backup plan. So if you come, you have to give yourself a time limit to try out. Especially actors, especially unfortunately female actors have a lesser shelf life, which is unfortunate, which shouldn't happen. But yet, what happens is leading roles may, even on television, on television, 25, 26 ke above, they are playing mother roles, or a lot of them are playing mother, because the younger ones are 16 and 17. So they are the ones who get the lead role. So patience होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So you need to have patience. You got to meet the right people, because you meet a lot of con men saying that मैं नवाजुद्दीन सिद्दीकी का cousin हूँ, या मैं इरफान खान का भांजा हूँ. These kind of people, they are like what we call Lokhandwala complex area में, because that's the hub. A lot of people. Yeah. So you meet the wrong people, then you get the wrong impression about the film industry, whether it's about the casting couch or whether it is about nepotism, or you because a lot of people give you the wrong picture. And they are also trying to fleece money. See, there are no free lunches. तो आपको बहुत alert रहना पड़ेगा. First of all, alert is one word. Secondly, you need to be very patient, because the cookie will not crumble, in your favor jaldi. It may take time. It may take 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years. So either you have a good backup that आपने, either your parents should have good money, or then you should have something, have something on the side, or that should help you tide over your basic, because then out of desperation that time, people do make the wrong choices in life out of desperation, whether it is about choosing a wrong film or choosing the wrong people to work with, and then you do a film, that film never gets released because maybe the director has some other plans of fleecing the producer out of some money. All these projects that happen fly by night. So then you end up getting very disillusioned.
Obviously, because of the pandemic at the moment, things have slowed down. So are you working on some new projects?
Yes. In fact, next week, in 7 days, I'm off to Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
To film the next season of Khatron Ke Khiladi, Fear Factor, with Rohit Shetty. Rohit Shetty. Yeah, so we have about 13 or 14 contestants who will participate. So we are going to Cape Town. Cape Town is the place where we've shot many other seasons earlier on as well. The first season of Khatron Ke Khiladi was shot in Johannesburg, post which we shot a few in Cape Town, and then we shot in Brazil. One season in Brazil, one in Argentina, one in Bulgaria, one in Spain, and Bulgaria was the last one. And then now we're doing, and we did one small season in August, like I told you, in India. I've been associated with Khatron Ke Khiladi since 2008. So this is going to be my 11th season.
Kiran, thanks very much for joining me on the show today.
Thank you very much.
We'll meet again. All the best in South Africa.
Thank you.
And until the next episode, you take care.
Thank you. You too. Stay safe.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.